Welcome to College Algebra. This is Sister Mary Rebecca. We're continuing Unit 4, Expressions, Equations, and Functions. We're also continuing the lesson on solving equations from word problems or solving situation problems. We did last time numbers 1 through 6, and now we're going to continue 7 through 11 with this next page. The idea here is that we want to identify what is being asked for, use any of the formulas that we are given, and perhaps identify also what the variables are. Number 7 reads, it's hard for some people to pay off credit card debt in a reasonable period of time because of high interest rates. The interest paid on a $10,000 debt over a 3-year period is approximated by this equation, where x is the percent of the interest rate. What is the approximate interest rate if the interest is $1,637.60? So we're going to plug that in for y, 1637.60, and set it equal to 175.393x minus 116.287. Now it's just a matter of actually solving for x. So we'll subtract 116.287 from both sides. We get 175.393 is equal, 1753.887 is equal to 175.393. Then divide by 175.393. Okay, and we get that x is equal to, this says 1,753.887. Divide that by 175.393 and you get 9.9%. For a period of time, a man is very successful in speculating on internet stock with its value growing to $1,000. However, the stock drops rapidly until its value has been reduced by 40%. So his loss is $100,000 minus 40% of $100,000. So 40% is written as 0.40. So overall, his loss has reduced his investment to $60,000. Now, in order to find the percent P, because it asks what percent P, we're going to call it P, increase will have to occur before the latest value returns to $100,000. We need to solve using the interest rate formula. So we're going to take $60,000, okay, and then we're going to multiply that by 1 plus, and in this case, instead of R, we're calling it P, and we need to set that equal to 100,000 because that's what we want to end up eventually having. Okay, so we've got this is our initial, and then we want to divide both sides by 60,000. Okay, so then I get that 100,000 divided by 60,000 is, I'm going to frac this, is 5/3. So 1 plus P is 5/3. Now I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides, and I get that P is equal to 2/3. That written as a percent is, so we have 2/3, right? It's 66.67% because I'm taking this decimal and moving it over twice in order to make the decimal become a percent. So the stock value must increase by 66.67% in order to return the investment to a value of $100,000. This following question was worth $32,000 on the game show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? At what temperature are the Fahrenheit and Celsius temperature scales the same? To answer this question, it's helpful to know that the Fahrenheit conversion is F is equal to 9/5 C, that's Celsius, plus 32. Let's figure out what is the Celsius conversion. So I'm going to take F is equal to 9/5 C plus 32. I'm going to subtract 32 from both sides. Then multiply both sides by 9/5 in order to solve for C. So my C, therefore, is 9/5 times F minus 32. I personally think the best way to solve for this is by graphing. So I'm going to take the Celsius because I want to know when Celsius and when Fahrenheit are equal to each other. So instead of using C and F respectively, I'm going to let X be the temperature. Okay, so I'm going to set F, which is 9/5 X plus 32, and I'm going to set it equal to Celsius, this should be 5/9. I apologize. I knew I was going to figure it out when I had to write it twice. This should be 5/9. 5/9 times X minus 32. Okay, and we're going to create a system of equations. So I'm going to let this side be y1, and I'm going to let this side be y2. So I'm going to enter into y1 9/5 X plus 32, and then into y2 I'm going to put 5/9, and then that needs to be in parentheses X minus 32. I'm going to hit zoom 0. And what that does is creates a graph such that I will be able to see both of them. It looks like, however, I'm going to need to extend my X minimum. I'm going to extend it to -50. Okay, so this first one, that's my Fahrenheit graph. The second one is my Celsius graph. I still can't see where they intersect, so I'm going to let my Y min be -200. Now I should be able to see where the two of them cross. And then I'm going to hit second, calc, 5 for intersect, enter, 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 and it tells me that it intersects at X, or temperature, is equal to -40. So at -40, the Celsius temperature and the Fahrenheit temperature are the same. Number 10 says, a manufacturer of specialty golf hats spends $4,000 in overhead costs to produce hats, and they sell them at $20 a piece. We're going to let X equal the number of hats. Okay? Just in general, we want to know, okay, what would be the profit? How could I get a profit of $8,000? Profit is equal to revenue, how much money we make, minus the cost, so how much everything costs. What's left over between the revenue and the cost, that's my profit. So I'm going to, for part A, I'm going to plug in my profit, revenue, and cost. My profit, I want to be $8,000. Okay. My revenue is how much I'm charging for a hat times the number of hats. And then my cost is $4,000. That's my overhead. And now I simply solve for X. Add 4,000 to both sides, so I get 12,000 is equal to 20X. Divide both sides by 20. Let's see, sorry, I didn't mean to cross that out. 12,000 divided by 20 is 600. So I need to produce 600 hats in order to get a profit of $8,000. Now, how many hats do I need to produce in order to just break even? Break even means that I have zero profit. In other words, my revenue is equal to my cost. So I'm going to let, oops, this is part B. I'm going to let my profit be 0 and set it equal to my revenue minus my cost. I might as well. So then we're going to plug in our revenue, which is $20 per hat, so 20 times X, and then our cost, which is $4,000. Then I'm going to solve for X. So add $4,000 to both sides, get 20X is equal to $4,000, divide by 20, and I get X is equal to 200. So that means I need to make 200 hats in order to break even. Okay, last problem. Number 11 says, the desired heart rate for a weight loss exercise program is given by H is equal to -0.65 T plus 143, where T is equal to the person's age, and H is equal to the heart rate in beats per minute. So if a person's desired heart rate for weight loss is 130, then what is their age? So again, age is T. So that's what we're trying to find. Their heart rate is 130, so we're plugging that in for H in our formula. It's equal to -6.65 T plus 143. Now we're solving for T. So subtract 143. I get that 130 minus 143 is -13. -0.65 T. Divide by -0.65. And I get T is 20. So that means you have to be 20 years old in order to have a desired heart rate of 130 to begin losing weight. If the desired heart rate is 104, what is their age? So I'm going to do the exact same thing, plug it in, 0.65 t plus 143, and when you do that operation, in the end you will get that t is equal to 60.